Hey guys, this is Mike Mahaffey, the old bastard BJJ guy, here for BJJ Mental Models. Back in my day, we had to walk uphill in the snow both ways to get to the academy just to learn some crappy technique from a random purple belt. You kids have it so easy because now you can just subscribe to BJJ Mental Models Premium and get tons of great audio courses to learn new techniques, enhance your mindset, and entertain yourself. You can even get personalized rolling reviews from some of your favorite BJJ Mental Models coaches, including me. It's like having your own seminar, you spoiled little whippersnappers. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to BJJ Mental Models Premium right now, get off my lawn, and go train.
Hey, welcome to BJJ Mental Models. I'm Steve Kwan. BJJ Mental Models is your guide to a conceptual and intelligent jiu-jitsu approach. And in this week's mini-episode, I want to talk about a concept called waypoints. The name is pretty self-explanatory. Sometimes people also call this pitstops. I've heard both variants of the name. The idea in either case is that you're looking for positions where you're comfortable, where you're well-trained, where you feel like you've got a lot of options, and you want to try to steer the fight to those positions. An example of a good waypoint would be the split squat position. For those who don't know, this is when I'm in your guard, I'm able to get past one of your legs, so I'm kind of squatting down almost in a half guard. In that case, that's a good waypoint, because from there, I have the ability to launch into a lot of passes, I'm in a relatively strong position, and I've got a lot of options. The person on the bottom will also probably feel like they need to start defending because if I can get to a split squat, it becomes a lot easier for me to pass. Waypoints are important because if you establish these, you understand that there might be midway pit stops between where you are and where you ultimately want to go, and you realize that getting to these waypoints can be tremendously beneficial. Like, let's take an example. If I am trying to do a knee cut pass on you, what a white belt might try to do is just do the pass at all costs. They might try to just go from I am standing in your guard or kneeling in your guard to immediately I try to do a knee cut. If you do that, you're making it less likely that you're going to successfully nail the pass, and you're making it more likely that the other person might sweep you on the way. So part of getting good at jiu-jitsu is learning to break down these basic positions in your head into a bunch of micro positions. You realize that there are positions on the way between one major position to the other. So in this example, if we're talking about me wanting to do a knee cut pass on you, then I might use the split squat as a waypoint. So rather than me just standing in your guard and trying to do a knee cut, what I'm trying to do is get to a split squat. I'm trying to clear one of your legs so that I'm squatting down in your guard, because if I can do that, then hitting the knee cut is way, way easier. Now, there are some waypoints that are going to be very common. Again, the split squat I will keep citing because it is such a powerful position for guard passing. Many good grapplers will focus on trying to get to a split squat when they're passing the guard. But it's not the only one. There are many other options, and there are some positions that are maybe not so universal as good waypoints, but for you specifically they might be, depending on what you're good at. As an example, if you favor the stack pass over the knee cut pass, you might use other waypoints instead of trying to get to a split squat, because if you split squat someone, then you don't have the ability to scoop under both of their legs anymore, so you can't do that stack pass. So instead, your waypoint might be, I am inside your guard and I've got both of my arms scooped under your legs. So basically, I've taken both of my hands out of your guard and the only thing still inside your guard is my torso and my head. If you play that position a lot as a waypoint, you'll get to the stack pass a lot easier. I do this quite often as someone who really likes the stack pass. I am always looking for opportunities to get both of my hands under your legs if I'm standing in your guard. Once I hit that waypoint, I have a lot of good passing options, including the stack pass, and so that's how I like to play the game. That's one of the waypoints that I use. And waypoints are not just about guard passing. You can use a waypoint all over the place in jiu-jitsu. For example, if you're trying to play mount against someone, you might look at a low mount where you're lying on the person as a wet blanket. You might look at that as a waypoint, because from there, you can stabilize the position and you can decide, do I want to try something like a smother or an Ezekiel, which I can do while I'm still laying on the person, or do I want to start climbing up to a high mount? It's a good position on the way to your ultimate goal. That's another really important aspect of waypoints. You often get there to stabilize the fight. So you don't necessarily blitz through a waypoint, but once you get there, you can stop, you can take a break, and you can figure out what you want to do next while also putting some pressure on your opponent. Waypoints are excellent for camping. If you like to camp as a strategy, and for those who don't know, we'll probably talk about this in another mini episode in the future. Camping basically means getting to a position where you can just make the person real uncomfortable and you hold that position until either the perfect moment to advance comes up or you force your opponent to make a mistake that you can capitalize on. The split squat is a great camping position because it feels awful for the person on the bottom. They know they're in danger, so you can force them to react. And if you're a good pressure player, you can make them very miserable by camping in positions like that. So that's another advantage of waypoints. Waypoints and camping are very closely related because if a position makes a good waypoint, that means it probably also is good for camping as well. So always try to think about this. Realize that jiu-jitsu is more than just the IBJJF point scoring positions. It's more than just guard, side control, knee ride, mount, back control. There are positions inside positions, and often if you can identify a good waypoint that you love to play, where you can hold that position, you can slow down for a second, reassess the situation, put pressure on your opponent, and maybe even get them to make a mistake, that's a powerful waypoint and that's a powerful position that you want to try to get into. So I hope this was a helpful conversation. If you want more like this, go to bjjmentalmodels.com. You can get every episode of our main podcast and all of our minis completely for free. You can also get BJJ Mental Models Premium, which is our best resource for really helping you invest in your jiu-jitsu game. All of that lives at bjjmentalmodels.com. I will put a link to that in the show notes, as well as some links to relevant mini episodes that you might also benefit from if you like this one. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll talk to you in the next one.